I was tagged in this post on Twitter by one of my followers, and shout out to them, about this Aryan Brotherhood member, I guess you could say white supremacist, by the name of Joshua Edwards, who went on quite a journey, but a very dangerous one at the same time. So this individual is out of Florida, and he has been arrested for kidnapping, drugging, and raping a black woman. And when I say this man went on a journey, I mean just that, because what you'll hear in this article is the fact that this man literally was on the run with this woman and crossed state lines. He probably had to cross a couple state lines before they actually caught him. So let me get into this article coming from WKRN. The woman who was kidnapped from a local convenience store and then raped allegedly by white supremacists is black, according to the arrest report. Joshua Edwards is a member of the Aryan Brotherhood gang, the sheriff's office revealed at a news conference on Tuesday. News 5 has reached out to investigators and prosecutors to see if they believe the attack may have been racially motivated. I would say so. After all, he's a member of a white supremacist gang. The woman was black. I mean, you can't get more concrete than that. The Aryan Brotherhood is a violent white supremacist gang that was first organized in the California prison system in the 1960s. Edwards made his first court appearance in the case on Wednesday. The judge set his bond at $6 million and is scheduled his next appearance for April 11th. The arrest report says Edwards abducted the woman Monday night while she was pumping gas at a Circle K at Jackson Street and New Warrington Road. The report says Edwards pulled out a 9mm pistol and told her to get in the car and stay quiet. The victim told deputies that Edwards held a gun to her and made her drive. At times during the alleged abduction, the report says Edwards changed places with the victim and drove her into Lillian, Alabama, and then back into Escambia County. So he made multiple trips. He went from Florida to Alabama and then from Alabama back to the place where he abducted her. The report says Edwards was doing ecstasy during the drive. The report also says he held a gun to the victim's head and forced her to take narcotics. The victim says Edwards took her to Bill Dixon Park Tuesday morning and raped her repeatedly at gunpoint. At one point while at the park, the victim says Edwards tried to drive the car through a wooded area, but the car stopped working. The report says Edwards then made the victim walk with him as they looked for another vehicle. The two walked to Fence Line Road, where the report says Edwards approached a second woman outside her home and told her he needed a ride to the store because his car had broken down at the park. The report says Edwards pulled out the gun and ordered the woman to hand over her keys, and he then drove off, leaving the two women together. The second carjacking victim let the other woman into her home, where they called 911. News 5 spoke to the mother of the second carjacking victim Tuesday night. Mary Staples described the conversation they had with the woman who had been raped. She was pretty controlled until she stepped inside, and then she fell apart and cried for about 45 minutes, hardly able to speak. She said that he had raped her and that he had taken her car. A few hours after the abductions were reported, deputies captured Edwards behind a shopping center near the Walmart on Blue Angel Parkway. The arrest report says deputies found a Kel-Tec 9mm pistol in the area where they arrested Edwards. Edwards is charged with sexual battery, 2 counts of carjacking, armed kidnapping, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and a possession of a firearm during a felony. Records show that Edwards was released from prison in November after serving more than 3 years for crimes in Santa Rosa County that included burglary and grand theft. Edwards has also been arrested twice on theft charges in Mobile County. So this guy has quite the rap sheet for doing wild shit, but this is probably the wildest things that they ever did. I'm telling you, when it comes to stuff like this or people like him, they need to stay in prison for as long as fucking possible, because when they get out, there's no way that they can possibly be rehabilitated. Look at what he did here. He escalated his crimes and added kidnapping and rape to this. And they want to question if this was racially motivated. He kidnapped this black woman, took her across state lines, and raped her and forced her to do drugs that she's most likely never even touched a day in her life. She is extremely lucky that she's not dead, because I'm sure what was going through her mind was the fact that this could be the end. I'm not going to see my family again. They're not going to know what happened to me and what have you. This guy is a racist, white supremacist. He doesn't like black people, but he kidnapped me, and there's a possibility that after he's done with me, he'll probably kill me. So I think the thing that might have ended up saving her was the car breaking down and then running into the other person and him just letting her stay there. But he wasn't too bright, because if he really didn't want that stuff to get back to him, he would have just offed them both. But he didn't do that. I'm guessing that was the drugs taking effect. But I'm glad that that didn't happen that way. But I was just saying, if he was a smart individual, a so-called high IQ, that's what he would have done, you know, just so he wouldn't have any witnesses. But he didn't, and it didn't work in his favor. I can't say I hope they throw the book at him, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully this is a story that I can continue getting updates on, and we will go from there. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one. Oh, and before I forget, ladies, black women, this is yet another case of why y'all do not need to be out there by yourselves, especially if you do not have a firearm, a taser of some sort, because from the sounds of it, it sounds like she had to have been by herself, because I don't think anybody would have been with her and just allowed that to happen.